Hello guys, and welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, then don't forget to subscribe. Today I will come you to a discussion that will leave you questioning the timing and motives of insurance companies. Now, just months ago, a shocking revelation came to light. Numerous insurance companies had cancelled fire insurance policies for homes and businesses in LA, mere weeks before devastating fires swept through the region. Now, as one concerned speaker pointed out, while climate change and drought conditions undoubtedly contributed to the fires, the sudden and widespread cancellation of fire insurance policies raises disturbing questions. Was this simply a coincidence, or did insurance companies have knowledge of the impending disaster? Now, the consequences of these cancelled policies are dire. Homeowners and business owners who lost everything in the fires are now facing financial ruin with no insurance coverage to fall back on. The fact that this happened just a few months ago makes it all the more alarming. So with that said, let's take a look at these videos as different people share their thoughts on this. I will be right back.
And how about insurance companies dropping fire coverage in California just before the fires? Yeah, can we talk about when that happened? Does anybody want to share when the fire insurance was dropped? That's very interesting. Okay, and I'm not discounting climate change, zero water, dryness. I get it. But why were the policies specifically dropped for fire insurance weeks in advance? Listen, I'm about to go put on my tinfoil hat, but I won't. But it does raise questions. And why was the reservoir not full? And where was the water? It seems like the perfect storm. And why? Why are there people starting more fires? There was a dude caught with a blowtorch. People are getting arrested. Messy. And the fires are beyond devastating, right? We always hear the word, oh, it's a devastation. No, it's worse than that. And what about North Carolina, right? It's like Maui. What the hell is happening? I would like some answers, please, as would everyone.
Insurance companies canceled their coverage on most homes and businesses right before the fires started in LA. So all of the places that burnt down, anybody who lost anything, it is just a complete loss. There will be no payout. They have no coverage whatsoever. And all of these coverage cancellations just happened like a few months ago. It wasn't even that long before all this started. And this is leaving the people there just completely devastated. I mean, imagine if you lose everything, right? And maybe you're not a super wealthy person, but now you have absolutely no money to buy another house or rebuild or any of that. Now, it's one thing if you're wealthy enough and you lose everything, but at least you do have assets and maybe you can buy another place. But imagine you're not in that position. These fires are going to leave a lot of people with nothing and maybe even make a lot of them homeless. And that's not to mention the homeless people that are losing everything in those LA fires as well.
State Farm canceled almost all of their homeowners insurance policies right before the fires hit. They pulled coverage on 1,600 policies after a record-breaking summer. They labeled this area as just too high risk. State Farm announced that their number one priority right now are the safety of their customers and their employees. JP Morgan's estimating the damage to be over $10 billion. Not only that, getting insurance in the future in these areas is almost impossible.
Let's talk about these companies that dropped coverage up to a year and weeks prior to the Palisade fires. Now, I wanted to know the companies that did this, and I was very disgusted to see USAA on this list, as I have been a USAA member for over 18 years now. And I do use them as insurance on my home in Texas. But State Farm, Allstate, USAA, and Nationwide are just some of the major insurance companies that pulled the plug. So we have to ask ourselves, what did they know weeks prior to this happening that we didn't know? Now, TikTok, this is for entertainment purposes only. But somebody had to have had an inside scoop for these major companies to pull the rug out from underneath millions of homeowners just weeks before the fires. What do you think?
These insurance companies are playing entirely way too much, because why would you stop your fire coverage for people who are living in a place where there are frequent fires? Every year there's a wildfire. Every year there's a fire that goes on. So why would you stop covering these people? And then I guess you could say, well, because to the insurance, it gets expensive when they know that these houses are going to burn down. So they're going to just stop covering them because they know how expensive it'll be. But is that not the point of paying for the insurance? Like, I'm just so confused by that. And it's not just like homeowners insurance. It's all insurance. Like, literally think of this scenario. Someone's insurance gets taken away. Their fire coverage gets taken away for their house. So they stay to protect their house in a fire. Then they get some sort of, sickness, or they get injured in some way. They have to go to the hospital. They then go to the hospital and find out that their insurance doesn't cover whatever they need help with. Like, no.
State Farm is there, unless you live in California where they cancel your insurance. 72,000 policies, 30,000 homeowners canceled as of July 3rd. Just in time for the California wildfires, one of the worst in California history, as firefighters struggle to fight fires after Mayor Karen Bass cut their budget by $23 million. As fire hydrants are struggling to keep water due to reservoir shortages. When asked to comment, Karen Bass couldn't be reached because she was out of the country in Africa on a taxpayer trip for the inauguration of the president of Ghana. What the hell is she doing out of the state on taxpayer dime, let alone out of the country? God bless the firefighters and everyone.
Now, California's top insurer canceled hundreds of policies months ahead of Los Angeles wildfire. California insurer State Farm spokesperson confirmed to Newsweek that the insurer canceled hundreds of homeowners' policies last summer in the Pacific Palisades area, which is now grappling with severe wildfires. Now, State Farm Insurance Company's decision to cancel policies last summer in the Pacific Palisades area, which is now grappling with severe wildfires, has sparked concern as the blazes continue to ravage Southern California, leaving residents in desperate need of coverage as they face the aftermath of the disaster. Now, the company defended the move, citing the increasing frequency and intensity of wildfires in the Garden State and its efforts to avoid financial failure due to the rising risks, Newsweek reported. State Farm emphasized its commitment to assisting those affected, stating, "Our number one priority right now is the safety of our customers, agents and employees impacted by the fires, and assisting our customers in the midst of this tragedy," the news publication quoted a company spokesperson as saying. Now, the ongoing wildfire crisis has revealed a wider issue in California's property insurance market. Many private insurers have withdrawn coverage in high-risk areas, leaving homeowners scrambling for alternatives. As a result, California's FAIR Plan, which acts as the insurer of last resort, has seen its policy numbers soar. From 2020 to 2024, the number of policies issued by the FAIR Plan has more than doubled, reaching a total of 452,000. According to CAP Radio, the news report stated. Now, the withdrawal of private insurers stems from the rising risk of wildfires coupled with regulations in the state that limit how much insurers can raise premiums to cover those risks. Faced with growing losses and higher liabilities, many companies have opted to cut coverage, triggering an ongoing property insurance crisis. Now, this growing issue has put California homeowners in a precarious position, making it even harder for them to secure coverage just when they need it the most. As the wildfires continue to spread, the financial safety net provided by insurers has become increasingly uncertain for many residents. Now, the fires currently ravaging Los Angeles County have caused catastrophic damage, with thousands of acres burned and significant loss of structures. As of Thursday evening, officials reported that the Palisades Fire, Eaton Fire, Haas Fire, Lydia Fire, and Kenneth Fire are still burning, while the Sunset Fire has been contained. Now, the Palisades Fire has scorched over 19,978 acres and is currently 6% contained. It has caused extensive damage with more than 5,300 structures either damaged or destroyed. Evacuation orders and warnings remain in effect for the affected areas. The fire continues to pose a major threat to residents, and officials are working tirelessly to contain it. Now, with all of this happening, they are adding an emblematic of the insurance nightmare, which is increasingly facing homeowners residing in regions prone to climate disasters. About 1,600 policies in Pacific Palisades were dropped by State Farm in July, California Department of Insurance spokesperson Michael Sola said in a Thursday email to CBS Money Watch. An analysis of insurance data by CBS San Francisco last year found that State Farm also dropped more than 2,000 policies in two other Los Angeles ZIP codes. Now, the Palisades fire could become the costliest wildfire in history because of the number of buildings that have been destroyed and as the structure rank among the nation's most expensive homes, said Daniel Swain, a University of California, LA climatologist, on a Wednesday webcast about the disaster. The neighborhood's 9,000 residential units have a median home value of $3.1 million, according to real estate data firm Atom Data. Now, while personally and financially devastating to homeowners, the LA fires, which include the Eaton fire and several other wildfires, are likely to place added stress on the state's already fragile insurance market. Experts and lawmakers say it's an issue that extends beyond California, with similar issues facing homeowners in Florida, Louisiana, and other states. We will be watching to see whether the collapse of a trembling home insurance market accelerates after this added shock. Shane Sheldon, White House, a Democrat from Rhode Island, wrote on X Thursday. White House serves on the Senate Budget Committee, which last month issued a report about climate change's impact on the insurance market. Now, Rep. Maxine Waters, a Democrat from California, whose district includes parts of LA, told CBS Money Watch she will soon reintroduce a bill called the Wildfire Insurance Coverage Study Act, which would require the Government Accountability Office to analyze the dangers posed by wildfires to communities and how insurance companies are responding. It will help us determine what the best federal response is to these issues, Waters said. We have to know more about climate change, such as determining which areas or types of vegetation are more susceptible to wildfires and the risk of building in those areas. Now, she added that the higher risks are leaving homeowners and business owners and families without insurance coverage because some of the insurance companies are concealing. They aren't writing any new insurance. People continue to pay high prices for even less coverage. With the fires continuing to rage across the LA area, the estimated cost of the disaster is surging. The potential property damage and economic losses could amount to as much as $150 billion, according to a Thursday estimate from AccuWeather. That would make these wildfires by far the most destructive in U.S. history. We have finally come to the end of the video, but what do you, our viewers, have to say? Do you think these insurance companies knew something, or maybe this is just a coincidence? Share your thoughts, your views in the comment section, and let's have a conversation there. Thank you for always watching, and see you in our next videos. We bring you another interesting video.